start with two of the things that most of us have been doing. As you know, my area of expertise, research, publication, authorship has been Chanakya. My book has been Corporate Chanakya, which quite a few of you may have heard. I come from the University of Mumbai, and we have a leadership academy over there called the Chanakya Institute of Public Leadership, where we've been doing a lot of work on management and leadership the Indian way. As many of you know, Chanakya wrote this book called Arthashastra, and in the Arthashastra, which Chanakya wrote, there is a lot of ideas about leadership, management, which was of course written 2,400 years ago. But my challenge always has been that the great Indian wisdom that we're talking about, is it something of the past or is it really applicable in today's generation? So I've been looking out for role models who are Chanakyas in the real sense in today's generation as well. And in my research, I've been working closely with a lot of corporate leaders. I've been working with academicians. I've been working with Army, Navy, Air Force, and of course with the police department. And that's how myself and Shivanandan sir actually came together. So what we are going to discuss today is basically to understand the perspective of management from 2-3 dimensions. And then we will see that how does all of us as a society inculcate leadership into each one of us as individuals, or as companies that we run, or as a nation which really requires good management. So let me start with Sir. As all of you know, Sir has been one of the most respected IPS officer who's been instrumental in some of real breakthroughs in some of the challenges that happened in our particular country as far as policing has been concerned. So let me start with a very simple question. Sir, how do you define management?
I have been working here in the police for the last 30-40 years, so some of you may be very known to me. And I have been here in Mumbai for a long time, precisely from 1987. I have been continuously working in one capacity or the other. So answering his question as part of this introduction, is management is basically managing the situation, managing the company, managing the police force, managing the events. But in the police, as I have seen, it is always continuously crisis management only. So we have been managing a normal policing also as a part of a crisis management only. And in the bargain, the last 36, 38 years, even if a crisis is not there, we create one and manage it. So if it is a day where we don't get a phone call, or we don't get a headline, or you don't get disturbed, or don't get abused by somebody, then we feel very bad, Say for example, this Uttarakhand incident, that Director General of Police is my batchmate. His name is Satyavrat Bansal. Unfortunately, he's not coming out on the TV and then owning up all the things, good, bad, ugly things, whatever has happened. But this is a major crisis for him. The police is not there. There is a Tahsildar who is responsible for policing in that entire area, each area, because police is not reaching out there, and police are very sparse. And when such a catastrophe has struck, their presence is not there, they're not able to reach. All the good publicity is going to Army, Navy, Air Force, because they are managing this also. Managing the crisis is one, managing the press is another. They're doing a wonderful job of both. The crisis, managing the crisis, they are doing wonderfully well. Managing the press also, because their helicopters, they are flying, their, Barkha Dutt or Rahul Kamal going in their helicopter talking about it. Whereas our fellows are all dying there. They got washed away. 40 of the ITBP chaps who were there in the Kedarnath temple got washed away. 5 bodies found, others we don't know. And others are all slogging. ITBP is the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force. They are there, they are dying, they have been there always, but this is what is all about management, I would say. But in my experience, now I have left the police since 2 years, corporate management, you have a budget, you manage everything within the budget. You can't go beyond that because nobody will. Whereas in our case, there is no budget, everything is zero budget only. So we start with zero budget and then you are managing it. So we are managing things without any resources. As usual, 2611. I was the Commissioner of Police after that. Everyone said Pakistanis came with this, whereas our men went there all with the 303 and whatnot. So Omale, Lati and Omale, you know very well how he made the supreme sacrifice. That is management. The man went with the Lati and then caught hold of a fellow who was firing from AK-47, took all the bullets in his stomach and then killed himself, but he caught the terrorist alive. In the history, in the recent history, there is not a single incident where a foreign terrorist or a local terrorist has ever been caught alive in an incident, and thus we could prove that Pakistan has been doing all these things. All these days we never were able to prove. Even 1993 March 12th blast, where we lost 257 people, they never agreed that everything was pointing towards Pakistan, but somehow we could never prove that. So that is again crisis management. So riots and blasts and then murders and this. For example, this Nirbhaya incident in Delhi. The girl, unfortunate girl, she was raped and killed. And then what all happened, I need not tell you. Fabulous crisis management it was. And the Delhi Police Commissioner was beaten to a pulp by the press and the people in publicity, bad publicity I mean. He's again a friend of mine, my batchmate called Neeraj Kumar. He will retire a month later. So I was discussing with the Delhi police officer the other day, last week. He says, ये सब तकदीर की बात है, तकदीर की बात है. That, अच्छा time आप आ गए हैं. So even if you are inefficient, you can manage the whole thing, get good name, have parties, drink dinner and all that, go away. But even if you are more capable, like the present guy, he's a very capable guy, but you get battered by the press, public opinion and things like that. So that is what is management all about.
In fact, you gave me various dimensions of management, people management, media management. So let us look at this way, because media has got a lot of power today, and positive power. It can reach out to the masses, etc. But one thing which I've been observing as a child, whenever I've been seeing you in press, the film company where you have been portrayed, how has been your media management?
Takdeer ki baat hai again. My takdeer has been excellent. So even though media, best part of the life, there was no much media at all at the time. Yeah. When we began and we went through halfway. Later media evolved, and then whatever is happening is happening. So far, maybe whether my karma has been good or my deeds are good, my duty is good or whatever it is, I would again attribute to the Delhi police officer who's attributed the whole success to the takdeer. It was good. I never had bad press. I never had bad publicity. And of course, the work was also there. What all work I have done. This is not the forum to tell you that. But yes, my management of the media has been wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. You also mentioned, sir, that you have a lot of friends in the media. When you say friends, the people who actually take the right message of the police. Now, unfortunately, in our society, the police has got two aspects. The dabang aspect, the corrupted guy who can also go around with item numbers. And then you got the company guy, where, if you remember this movie called Company, produced by Ram Gopal Verma, there is this cop, Mohanlal played that role. And Sir was actually the role that Mohanlal played. So very few movies actually carry the right part of the police. Of course, there are some more movies which talk about it. Now, what I would actually like to ask you is that wherever you have been portrayed, you've been always been known as a strategist rather than just the man in the uniform. So can you talk about a little bit of a strategy in police, sir?
About this dabang policing and the other type of policing you mentioned, I must mention that. More popular is dabang police, because any day a police officer comes, he wants to hammer people on the road and become popular, and then all people applaud and things like that, until things go wrong and he goes behind the bar and then he starts crying that the system is not helping and the people are not helping and things like that. Gone are those days when you could come on a horseback and whip somebody, bad element, and then try to become a hero and things like that. Today, the other day, when I was the Commissioner of Police, 2009, Lord Ian Blair had come. Ian Blair. He was the Commissioner of Police, London, in 2005, when that innocent Mexican was shot during the blast time, 2005. So after our interaction, one of the Deputy Commissioners, a young fellow, asked him, what is the advice you are going to give to the young officers? He had already retired. He has become a lord. A lord means the member of parliament he is. So he said, the best advice I can give is beware of this, he said. Beware of this. This is going to be your worst enemy. Whatever you do and whatever you speak, whatever you think, it is going to be recorded and aired. So be careful about that. The other day, about 6 months or 3 months before, one of the additional superintendents of police in Agra stands down and puts his shoe, one leg up on a small pedestal kind of a thing, and one constable in uniform is tying his lace, which has become loose now. So that somebody like you has taken a picture of that, and earlier, during earlier times, we used to write an application, complain to the Chief Minister, Director General, Commissioner. No reply would ever come and no action would ever be taken. Here, you got a modern thing. Upload it in the YouTube. The next day, somebody, CM saw and PM saw that. In 1 week's time, flat, the man was suspended. lo and behold, science and technology is coming to your help, either positive way or negative way. We can reach out to the public so fast and ask for help in Uttarakhand situation, or in a Godhra, post-Godhra riot situation, or Mumbai riot situation. You can gather the help of the entire people there with you, or you can destroy the complete faith of the people by making one statement. One statement you make in the TV, the whole faith of the people gets washed away. That is media for you. That is technology for you.
Sure.
So now, if you are well trained, if you are lucky, and if you are well groomed, and you can carry on with this, definitely the whole lot of the society is with the police. And unless the society and the masses and the educated and all other people are with the police, nothing can be done by the police. Police per se can't do a thing. If women are feeling safe in Mumbai city, it is not because the Mumbai police is doing anything great, but it is the people, it is the culture, it is the air, which is the water, which is the earth. That is what is making the Mumbai safe. So that way, it is the people who play a role. And now how a person can make use of this media and come out as a winner is his choice and his knowledge and his exposure.
Sure. So you just mentioned about the most dangerous instrument that we have, the mobile, the technology. You have lived in an era, you have operated, managed and led in an era in the policing where technology wasn't really great, the pre-mobile era, the pre-computer era, and you have seen the other side of it. For the last 10 years, you have used the media effectively, you used websites effectively, technology effectively. So as young generation sitting over here and the elder generation sitting over here, what do you think was the difference when you used to lead when you didn't have the technology advantage and now when you have the technology advantage?
I think it's a very, very interesting question. When we had no media and technology, people had their own pace of investigation. Investigation was done in the Sherlock Holmes style. You go there and Watson is following and you endlessly smoke your pipe and endlessly get your tea or coffee without sugar and then look for that little hair or saliva or sputum or a burnt cigarette or some coin which is upside down and say, Watson, what is this and all that, and Watson gives you the reply. But here, a murder or dacoity, rape or robbery takes place and the next day the press says the police is clueless. unless the policeman himself has done the crime, how can they ever have the clue? So in a city like a metropolis like Mumbai where 20 million people are living, coming and going from all over the world, so that is the difference. But there, we could also reply to the media that we will come back to you after the investigation is over. Yeah. I hope all of you know the Arushi Talwar case. We know the press and the police moved into the scenario and they trampled upon the whole thing mercilessly. And they found one body of the girl first, and then they came up with 1,000 theories. The media came up with 1,000 theories, the police came up with another 1,000 theories and all that. They didn't know that there is a staircase and there was a upstairs and there is one more dead body lying there. Fellow was missing that dead body. Obviously, the man is missing, no? He's dead there. So every blame was put on him. Hemaraj is the name of the boy. And later on, they found that, we have done only half job because there was no time, no Sherlock Holmes or no Watson to go and search the whole place and find out and collect evidence. Media started blasting and people took out a conference and came up with all the wrong things. Sure. Until today, that case has been a messed up case. So this is what happens now. And earlier, obviously, so for example, the Jessica Lal case or the Delhi Nirbhaya case or so many cases, it is all led by media. They come to a conclusion as to who has done and they pursue relentlessly. Earlier, definitely, they had time, they had energy, they could do a lot of homework and come up, wrap up the whole case and come with incontrovertible evidence, and then they prove that this is what is right and this is what is wrong. Now, every statement a policeman makes as a part of management can be proved wrong next day because the factors and the situations affecting that case would be changing rapidly.
Sure. Sir, you said that today information is very fast. The Sherlock Holmes era is over. You're waiting and, after 3-4 days, you will at least get your first clue. Now, here in an era where there is overload of information, even the media can have its own different kind of stories. How do you as a leader identify what is the knack of what is wrong or right in so many options available? Because that's a skill that you develop as a leader to identify which is the right thing to pick up, which one to ignore. So how do you do that?
That comes more by practice. Even Sherlock Holmes became one much after spoiling so many cases, I suppose. So we also have our quota of ruining quite a few lives and quite a few cases, and then get beaten up and get all this kind of thing. So everything, even a gold, only when it is put in the fire and gets beaten up, it becomes an ornament. So that way, even every detective and every police officer does bungle a few cases and then he learns. So that is by knack of only working and not shying away from the fact that you did bungle a particular case, and then you learn. But if you want to put a lid on that and then start saying that what I have done is right, then you are going to make out some bungling in such a way that you could definitely land up in the jail and count the bars for the next 3 years. That is the problem today. So if you can learn smoothly and go about, and then you can smell a criminal in about 3 kilometers of distance. You can detect a case. I know, I want to, since it has become a police storytelling session. When I was a young fellow in Aurangabad, neither I knew Hindi nor I knew Marathi. Little bit of English I knew because of the education, and the only language I knew was Tamil. So there was a dacoity there, and a house where a police patil's house was axed in the middle of the night. It was surrounded, they threw stones, all houses were closed. Bede, from a neighboring district called Bede, a criminal tribe called Takaris, they had come. They axed the house and they opened the door by axing, went and took away quite a lot of property, gold, jewelry, those Nizam type time coins and things like that. Identifiable property, not unidentifiable currency like ours now. So I went there and I was very as clueless as you would describe a policeman to be, and a blue, new horn, blue horn or whatever you call. So I was that, and then I had taken a crime branch to an old man called Dharmadhikari. I can tell you, he was a constable turned sub-inspector. He went there like that Sherlock Holmes. I was like the Watson behind him, watching what he's doing. And he examined a few things and turned around and told me, "Sir, this is done by one Rajya of so-and-so village of Bede district." My eyes literally popped out, saying that, how can you say that? Then he said this and all. Then we used a dog. It ran about 40 to 50 kilometers, and on the way, it is not a Banawat story at all, because I was there. We saw that beady cover, which is on the track in which the dog was lying, which was thrown away by those people. After some time, this very same axe they had used was also abandoned by them. And then when we reached the village, I had taken enough police force. We surrounded the whole village. We had those very light pistols and all that time. We can light the whole sky. And we did all that drama baji. And then we caught that people, and recovered that identifiable, not Banawat, made up evidence. Like, okay, 10,000 rupiya aapka chala gaya, main 10,000 mera pocket mein dal ke bharpai kar diya, ho gaya detection. That was not that. Those Nizam period coins, which were specifically identifiable, were there in the possession of those criminals. That is that kind of people we had. So during those times when you say mobiles were not there and science and technology, satellite, Big Brother is not watching us, we had informers, we had a network of people who could tell us, and also humongous amount of intelligence, human intelligence, which was not embedded in the computers as an institutional memory, but that individuals had a tremendous memory. All that we had to do is to identify the individual, celebrate him, and appreciate him, give him the credit. That's a big problem in management. You asked about management. Big problem in management today is when things go right, I as a police officer can say, "Maine kiya hai," and all that, call the press saying that I have detected and all that. But whereas actually the whole detection was by that man. Sure. And Dharmadhikari, I'm singing his song even after 40, 42 years now. That is what we had, the tremendous advantage of people who are knowledgeable and who had a treasure of information gathered by their experience.
Sure. 35 plus years in leadership in the police, leading more than 2.25 lakh plus men and women across Maharashtra, the highest senior most position a person can get as an IPS, Director General of Maharashtra Police. If you look back, one particular instant where you're proud of your leadership, which you can say, this is like my favorite story to tell.
You know, that every incident is involving a small child or a destitute or a woman or a man in desperation. No one, all of you know very well, no one comes to police in good humor, or when you are very well off, you know, when you are happy, when you want to share a meal and all that. Only when you are in distress, when you have a problem, then you come to the police. So, and you are not in good mood at the time, right? You are not in a good mood. So everything the policeman says or behaves is irritating to you. So all that problems are there. So that way we can count so many hundreds of stories. I would only say that in the year 98, July, I had come from the Naxal affected area of Gadchiroli, when lots of business people were being killed by these organized crime syndicates. Chota Rajan, Bada Rajan, and Middle Rajan, and various other Rajans were here. Chota Shakil, Lamba Shakil, you know, Mota Shakil, Chota Shakil, or Kota Shakil, all of them were there. They were ruling the roost, and they had shot about 101 business people in 1 year in 93 incidents. And Mumbai city had come to a grinding halt. Marriages were not taking place. I don't know whether anybody knew. That is in Marine drives and all. Marine drive, no marriages, no cars were purchased. So then many people were dead and frightened. Extortion was at its highest. You buy a car, they ask for money. Once somebody known to me went and cancelled his registration, the fellow called and said, now that you have cancelled the registration, utna paisa tumhare paas hai na, wo humko de do bola. So that kind of a thing. So anyone who didn't want to buy a good pair of shoes for the children, they said, if you wear Nike, you know, that call will come. So let us postpone that. So children could not buy Nike shoes, and dinner could not be eaten in Taj or Oberoi. So that's the kind of situation. Definitely it was a lose situation all the way.
Sure.
Then perhaps you all know Vallabh Thakkar was killed, Gulshan Kumar was killed, then Om Prakash Kukreja was killed, that Taqiyuddin Wahid of East West Airline was killed. Then, like that, so many names we can say. That turnaround, because Mumbai police was also at its lowest ebb because of a case registered by against them, against encounter of one few people. So they were at the lowest ebb. Then to give them confidence, to take them out of the shell, and then give them enough motivation to again come out and be in the open and say that we are here and nobody can terrorize this city. That took time, about 1.5 to 2 years time. But that was again a situation where no one wanting to come and take the charge, you know. Now, joint CP crime, anybody will go there and be there and shine, because there is no, in the last 10-12 years, there is no shootout at all. Except two, that is J. Day and Iqbal Kaskar, attempt to Iqbal Kaskar. Otherwise, there is no shootout at all. Extortion is also at the very lowest level now. But at that time, it was ruling the whole state. The city was becoming Beirut. That, I would say, was a big challenge.
Sure.
One could have failed miserably, then maybe I wouldn't have been here, giving, drawing your attention and keeping you listening to my kind of a presentation. I would have been one of those people. If you fail in these things, you know, people ruminate, and then quietly they die. I don't know whether you all know this or not. If in that kind of a circumstance, if you don't prove yourself successful, slowly those people not only fade away from the system, they fade away from the world itself.
Sure.
So, boss, now that I'm here giving you all this lecture, that means there was a real wonderful success, I must say that.
Sure. In fact, I would suggest all of you that please do your little bit of a Googling research on Shivanandan sir's time period, especially when he was the joint CP crime in Mumbai. And a lot of things have come out, and many of you may just wonder that are we talking about policing in a non-fiction book festival? There's a reason behind it, is that all the stories that we've been hearing about in the policing story, unfortunately, people don't talk about the leadership and strategy in policing. The face of the policing is either Dabang or, you know, what is that other Ajay Devgan movie? What is it?
Singham. Singham, yeah.
But that era is gone. You know, today it's more about strategy. If you travel internationally also, you will find that it's not just the danda, but the how you upheld the law. Now the thing is that all these ideas that Shivanandan sir spoke about actually is going to be a part of the book that I'm writing along with him next. And this is something that we wanted to actually declare that, yes, there is one book called Corporate Chanakya, which I have written, and many of you might have read it about it. But the fact is that the second book, which is almost complete, again on Chanakya, but I have taken Shivnandan sir as a case study, and I've spent almost 1.5 years with him, and I think I have done so much research on him. It's going to come out as a book form, which will be released in the next 1 or 2 months. So I'll tell you more about the book in some other platform, but it's all there. But before we go into it, as far as corporate Chanakya is concerned, one thing which I want to tell you is that it's a book on management from the corporate world. And Shivnandan sir is now part of management and leading the corporate companies. Now let me tell you that after post his retirement, he is been with a lot of projects, but he's also working very closely with corporates, including the RBI, etc. So sir, you have spoken now about management, strategy and leadership in the police. Can you tell how it can be different in the corporate world, which you are doing now?
In the corporate, of course, they have budget, they have earmarked money, and they have talent. They can hire talent and fire talent. Whereas in this government case, once you are recruited, he is a liability for 60 years, up to the age of 60 years. I hope you all agree. Mr. Jain, you know very well. Yeah. In DCW, you fire a talent. If you like him, you give a hike. Otherwise, you above him so much, he goes out of the whole corporate system. So in the corporates where I am helping, I am the strategic security advisor to the Reserve Bank of India. I also started a company called Securus First. It is my own company where I give advice to people, strategies to people about security, particularly cyber related. Today we are all cyber all the way, cyber crimes only. So we are concentrating on that. So corporate security is very well defined. Their goal, their mission, their vision, and their target, and how much this year is 100 crore, next year is 200 crores. If you don't reach the CEO's act, while running on the treadmill, he gets a heart attack, right? Last year, 3 people got. So, yeah, see, I'm telling you a statistical figure. I'm not telling you a story. 3 CEOs at different times, where they came back from gym and at home while having tea or whatever it is, they just had heart attacks and died. They are very young people. So just now one cinema actor also had, if you remember, a TV actor, just 10-15 days before, at the age of 37, while running on the treadmill, he had so these are all performance-related problems. So in the corporate world, in the management, either you deliver or you perish. Whereas in the government kind of a management where I have done, if you don't do it, they just keep you there. Ornamental posts are plenty. And you draw the same salary, same promotion, same medal, same everything. But whoever delivers good, he's there. To confess to all of you, it is only 5 to 10% of the people in the entire system who are these sizzlers, who work and deliver and cover up for the other rest of the 90%. The others are all number. They are plodders. They are there. Like you've seen in the Bandobas where PM is coming from airport to here, 2,000 men are put. They are numbers. One day in the Marine Drive when I was walking early in the morning, there were a lot of policemen were there. And I asked him, Bhai, कौन है कौन he says he says konala talk कौन तेरी some country ka prime minister, some country ka president, I am standing here. Now if something happens to that man on the beat, the carcade is stopped or something, blast takes place, what is this fellow will do, so that is what I'm trying to say is it's a number. So whereas in the corporate thing, your role is defined, you have got a chit, you have got a job card, and you are measured every month, every quarterly, every yearly, and your assessment is done right in front of you. You have done well, you don't done well. In government, it is ACR is a top secret document. Only after retirement you can have a look at it. Why, when you are not performing, somebody should call you and say, this is a sheet and you have not done well here. You please bloody well do that, otherwise you quit. That doesn't happen. So this is the difference between the government and this. Most of the people, I don't know whether you heard such thing, that even if it is a quarter of a anna, better to work for the government, they used to say. There is a saying like that even if we get 1 anna or a quarter of a coin, let us join the government service. What does it mean? Security. All the way it is perform security, don't perform security. Sure. That's it.
A lot of these aspects which sir has told will be included in the next book which I'm talking about, which will be an extension of corporate Chanakya. But one aspect which not many people are aware of Shivnandan sir, that before he joined the IPS or the policing service, he was actually a professor. So he comes from the same industry that I am in, the education fraternity. So how does it feel, sir, that before you were in the police and today now you're lecturing around? Now he's been actually lecturing in prestigious institutions in India and abroad. He's been called as one of the most well sought out speakers. So how does it look being a teacher again?
You know, with due respect to all of you, I must say, I was a lecturer and nobody wanted to listen to me. So, so I became a police officer and everyone was forced to listen to me. So I had the danda this time now. So I have been lecturing all my career, all my life I have been lecturing. Only point is I posted the two policemen saying that, hey, bahar kyun jata hai? Suno apna saab ka. So most of the people were forced to, whoever came by mistake, you know, you wanted to go to some other area, you came here by mistake, you are told, hamara bada saab lecture de raha hai, tumko sunna hi padega. So that is how I have been lecturing this way or that way. So that is, lecturing is a part of the upbringing and it is going on very well. I go to the National Police Academy since 1998, every month or two. I go there and deliver lecture and the senior police officers listen. And one such lecture I had recently delivered, army officers were there. And having heard that, he said, now you come to Jalandhar and deliver a lecture on national security to the army officers of the Northern Command. Sure. So I will go there and deliver that lecture there. All these lectures are free of cost. Of course, I never charged money, but that conditioning that if you get away, I will see you on the road was there. So that way lecturing is a pleasure. And sharing these experiences for people is definitely a pleasure because somebody can learn a lesson or two, if at all. You know, even if in an audience of 100 or 200 people, one person picks up one point, I thought my time, my money and my travel is worth it. That is what I have been doing. It has been a pleasure. And besides that, in the police, all of you, since I have told you so much about police, one hobby I had was arranging management programs. From 1987 in Mumbai, at least 300, 500 programs I have arranged. I have arranged top class people to come and speak to the Mumbai police. And the whole idea was, if at all someone gets a spark and implements that. I also heard Robin Sharma, Alvin Toffler, Tom Peters, and all of them who had gone, Edward De Bono, all of them when they come here and speak, I spent a whole day and listened to them. Of course, free of cost. Others paid money. I didn't pay money. I went there and sat and listened to them. But that is what made lots and lots of difference as far as bringing in the strategy in policing is concerned. Sure. So that gave a good opening and good vision, I must say. Thank you.
Sure. That's why, you know, when I do my research on Chanakya, I say there are a lot of real life Chanakyas. So he's one of them. So you may not be Chanakya by name or by profession, but the fact is that Chanakya was a strategist, and we can see a lot of strategists in our society. They need to be told, they need to be brought out so that all of us can get inspired.
This is to Sir. You spoke about the whole Delhi case, and you said that there's actually a bit of a disagreement. You said that it is, if women feel safe in Mumbai, it is in the air, it is in the earth. It's in the environment.
I said it's a culture.
It's a culture.
In the sense, people help each other and look after it. That's what I said.
But the thing is that in the last 6 months, India shining has become India raping. So a lot of girls, because then we have to think of, are we free? Is this really a democracy where I can roam? We are trying very hard to understand what has gone so horribly wrong. You know, why is this happening? Now there are children, every to news roz ka ho gaya hai. So when you talk about the culture, the reason I talk is about, I was scheduled to go for an educational course in Himachal Pradesh in the month of Jan. And my bookings had happened in November before, you know, this whole December thing happened. So abhi the only way for me to go to Dharamshala was through, you go to Delhi, Delhi se bus lo. But then headlines, once that happened, people started calling me up that please don't go. And it suddenly, taking a bus and traveling alone as a girl from Delhi became like going and fighting a war. And I was scared shitless, but I didn't want to admit because I really wanted to do my course. So instead I said, okay, and I was also wanted to spend time with a friend who I had not met for a long time and see Shimla because I wanted to see Shimla. Then I said, I can either live in fear or I can do what I always wanted to do. So
so would you like to ask a question? Or?
Yes, the question is, what my experience showed me when I was in Shimla, I have never seen such civic sense, such law and order. When I was in Shimla, I wanted to take a bus from Shimla to Dharamshala.
Sure.
Now, there were two options. I can either take the morning bus, spend the whole day, waste the whole day and reach Dharamshala, or take the night bus. So I went to the HPTDC office.
Question, ma'am.
And there were three men. This is the question that I want to ask. So I was scared and I said, okay, I'll take the morning bus. So they said, beta, raat ko jao na. Why you want to waste the whole day? Go sightseeing. I said, I'm a girl, I'm scared. They were three men, they were angry. They said, your priority should be whether there is a bus at night, not whether it is safe to travel as a girl at night. And it was a very touching moment.
Ma'am, sorry, but lack of time, this Ananda's program.
What is the difference?
There was a question, yeah.
What is the difference?
And especially since you asked, sir, if there is anything specific, please do that.
Because the way I could see it, the only difference in Himachal was an overwhelming army presence. The army and the government makes up, say, majority of the employment. Is that the difference? Because in terms of management of the people, management of the culture, because again, culture is created by the powers to be. To an extent, we are a democracy now. We are not kings and kingdoms. So,
would you like to put some light on
I
that?
am not able to
How do you
answer this
create a
question at
culture?
all.
So we understand
Because what we are discussing from her description is about the human nature.
Correct.
So-
The human nature, the men and women, how they behave in different areas and different places.
How do
What I can, defending the indefensible is something which I can't do. Defending those rapists of the country is something which I can't do. Or about the police who have been inefficient and not to instill the confidence in the minds of the people. But what I would like to say is that in the recent survey conducted by some organization, Delhi came out to be the place in numbers of reporting, registration and all that. After this Nirbhaya incident, the rapes have increased by 600% registration and the molestation has increased by 1,400%.
Oh.
So it is not that the crimes have increased now, but because of the awareness and the media and the people talking about it there. So incidents means actual happening. They are in thousands and lakhs. Whereas the reporting is in half, 50%. Because they are all dissuaded by the family, friends, society and all, dog lag jayega and all that. Then the registration is again less than that. And then the investigation, charge sheeting, and ultimately we have come down to a record conviction of 8% of the crimes.
Oh.
So that way there is a lot of scope for improving. And if that is what you felt is good in that area, we can't afford to flood the whole country from head to toe with the army, police, paramilitary and all that, if that is what is going to give you the sense of. What I meant by air, earth, water and all that is the people here are good. What I meant to say was that the police alone is not responsible, that we can walk away with the credit that we are great, so women are safe. No. Earlier, even 20 years before, women could travel at 12 o'clock in the night with all the jewelry and all that, travel by train and all that. I'm talking about that culture of being protective and people behaving better than the others. That's what I meant by that.
Sure.
Sir, your intentions are good and you have done good work. It's not takdeer. But two quick questions, again coming back to your police days. People said the underworld was settling scores through the police. Any comments on that? And the second is, the dance bars were closed because some politicians felt miffed because they were controlled by the police. Any questions on these two? And finally, just a comment. Media is doing the policing, so the police should then do the media work.
Okay.
The last question is the most interesting question. So that we will start Salman Khan or Ajay Devgan to come and do the media management in their uniform with all the buttons open and the full hair and grown. And one person is unfortunately in the jail. That is Sanjay Dutt, who can do media management with all that long hair and button open and pan flowing and all that. But the first question is that the gangs, that was a thing of the past. That gangs were using the police one against other. That was the 60s and 70s.
All this Pradeep Sharma, he read in the papers and others.
They are all thing of the past that way. There is no Pradeep Sharma left now. In the last 10, 12 years, there is no encounter by the police. So from 2002, 2003, there is neither there is an encounter nor is an encounter specialist. So Pradeep Sharma and all are also that way is a thing of the past. And then ultimately a certain period if you are talking about, if you are talking from 1982, the gangs grew and then all that kind of thing, who helped who and all that. Let us not go into that. But okay, what you say could be true at the time, but it is the same police which stopped that also, no? I hope all of you agree. Okay, gangs developed them, our police developed gangs and all that, fine. But from 98, 99, 2001, 2002 onwards, you don't get calls, no? All of you are all in one way related. You don't get calls, you don't get extortion, you don't get threatened, nobody shooting, no TV showing blood flowing on the marble floor. So if that is there, I think the police, the same police whom you say had taken money from the gangsters, have done a good job. As on today, you are safe. Mumbai is safe. I think that should be the answer.
Whatever you have done in your office, we deeply appreciate. And so there are two questions, very briefly. This is from the positive angle. In your experience as a police officer, there could have been leaders, whether they are political or administrative leaders, who cooperated or who have been excellent leaders as well as good citizens, which helped you to do your work. Do you have any such people in your mind, in your whole of, or everything was black?
No, not at all.
That's one. That's one question. If there is anything which we would like to hear, I would like to hear that positiveness. The second thing is, any criminal who has changed to become a better person through the police work in the police department or any social or any NGO which helped the police and in collaboration with each other, any criminal has changed and became a better citizen, and the percentage of it, and how do you feel as a police officer in that connection?
Brilliant question. As far as the politicians are concerned of the earlier era, or even now, there are some of them who are excellent. Say, for example, Vasant Dada Patil, the finest of human beings, less educated, but what culture. I was a small bacha. I was DCP headquarters in Pune, 1984-85 is the time, and he was the CM. And then he called me, somebody had gone to him and with a complaint. The complainant was sitting in front of him. He rang up in Marathi and asked me, first thing is Shivanandan Ji. He called me, age difference is quite a lot. He told me, Shivanandan Ji, माझा समोर असा एक माणूस बसलेला आहे आणि यांना तुमच्याकडे मी पाठवतो. आपण या विषयाबद्दल चौकशी कराल का? The translation is, other things apart, he said, if I send this man with this complaint, will you kindly inquire into the matter? Wow. Now, there was another chief minister, 1982. I'm sending so-and-so. If it doesn't happen, next day you're in Gadchiroli. That is the order. So whoever didn't do that, whoever didn't do it as per his direction, he landed in Gadchiroli. Hundreds of them landed in Gadchiroli. And top senior officers like Sadasiv Rao Tinaikar and people like that, celebrated tough nuts faced that kind of a thing. So that kind of people were there. One Home Minister Shivaji Rao Deshmukh, even now he is an active politician. Even Vasant Dada Patil from Jaipur, he was Raj Bhavan. He was trying to speak Hindi. I was laughing. I neither knew Hindi nor Marathi, but I thought I was an authority in Marathi because I was SP Satara there. He belonged to that place. So he called me there and tried to speak to me in Hindi and all that. I was laughing. I thought I speak better Marathi than him, no? So I like that, these kind of politeness and getting things done in a most appropriate way. Okay, I would like to say, anyone telling me, I'm first thing policeman, I says, ye honar nahi, kasa honar nahi, section, kalam, amka, hoga nahi bolne ke liye hamara acha lagta tha. But whereas when someone calls like Vasant Dada Patil and asks me, will you kindly look into this and do inquiry, I felt like jumping out of my skin and said, it is done. Whether it is not doable or illegal, I will do, because the way these people guided and groomed, Same way, whenever these people came when I was a youngster, in the Jilla, they call the helicopter or whatever it is, in the district circuit house, the SP and the collector are called first. They are asked to give a briefing as what's happening in the Jilla. Then the people come and any number of complaints they can make, then the collector and the SP is referred to. And so, like that, S.B. Chavan was a hard-boiled administrator to the core. Like that, even Shivaji Rao Patil, for that matter, the one who was in the Home Ministry, and then because of the 2611, all that happened, now he has become Punjab governor. As far as behavior and education and culture is concerned, he was, par excellence is the word I must say. Like that, there are lots of others. I can give you a lot of examples. The other thing also, the second question is, most of the criminals, they have turned a new life, but they have joined the politics and they are all becoming ministers and others. So I can give you so many names, and you also know so many names. So not only that they became non-criminals, but they have become politicians. They are all top-class ministers, and all over the country, not only in Maharashtra. So like earlier, what is that movement? Jai Prakash Narayan's movement. That Malkan Singh and Milka Singh, all that kind of people from Madhya Pradesh renounced their arms and became good. Same way here also. Those Patel and then they are Haji Mastan. So many people laid down the arms and became wear white and white and became builders. You know, that way this kind of a change of Paribarthan, as Mamta Di would have called. Paribarthan did take place. But these days, Paribarthan is taking place in such a way that they are all relinquishing their criminal past and becoming politicians, becoming ministers and various other things. Names are all known to you, and definitely I can tell you 10, 20, 30 names in one go. It is there. It's a fact.
So I wanted to know your views on the pending police reforms. That is one. And my second question was, you know, the C60, which has been formed in Maharashtra, which is very similar to the Salwa Judum in Madhya Pradesh. Is that a good strategy, you know, that the police has taken to train Adivasis to kill Adivasis? That is the divide and policy rule which the British used to use. And that is the same policy which is being used in this country to, you know, fight Naxalism.
Okay.
So these two.
Can I answer, madam?
Yes.
What is the first one? I got...
police reforms.
Police reform. Police reforms is a fig leaf. It doesn't happen at all. Prakash Singh, Director General of Police, UP has gone to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has passed those reforms. It's just not happening for all of you. All of you should agitate, and all of you should get those things implemented. Most of the states, 99.5% of the states, are not doing any police reforms. Unless the police is liberated from the clutches of the politicians, and then you ask them to serve you, they cannot be giving you the service which you deserve and or which is written in the Constitution and the law book. You will never get that. Police reforms are a favorite subject of people to talk, do seminars and conferences and things like that. Actually, in the practical field, it's not happening. No. Even in the state of Maharashtra, police reforms have not been introduced at all. Model Police Act has not been passed, and the establishment board which is created is again misused. And so that way, the control of the political people over the police is 100% complete. So let us not go into more into that. Police reforms are not happening the way it should happen so that you will get good police. Okay, answered. Paucity of time. I can speak more and more. Second is, Salwa Judum is supposed to be the Mukti Bagni equivalent of people given arms by the establishment or otherwise and that. Whereas the C60 which the lady is mentioning is part of the commando force. So there is a total misunderstanding in your mind, madam. Listen, then they kill 77 people, they blow up people, open your stomach and put IED and things like that. The police also has to go there and fight it out. C60 is not Salwa Judum. Salwa Judum is a people's movement encouraged by the government, and people were given protection and things like that. That has been completely abandoned under the Supreme Court's order. And unfortunately, that man who was responsible, Mahendra Karma, was killed the other day. 78 times he was shot and 78 times he was stabbed. So Salwa Judum doesn't exist, and C60 is a commando force. They work in uniform. They carry all the ammunitions which any Arnold Schwarzenegger could carry, and they have to be there. Unless these people are given the same kind of a reply, more and more policemen. Please believe me, all of you, that the class enemy as described by them is the police. Sure. So why should the police get killed? And if they are armed and they are retaliating, and if they are saving themselves and saving you, I think that is as per law. If they are all eliminated as per your desire, if all policemen have to be killed, then you will be the next ones to be killed. And that's what is happening. Sure. In all Adivasis are getting killed, and Adivasi girls are being, atrocities are committed on them, and unlimited kind of atrocities do take place there. That's a separate subject. This is not a forum to discuss about that.
आपने कहा कि बंबई के लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं।
जी हाँ।
अब मैं जानना चाहती हूँ कि अच्छे इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में क्या कैसे अच्छे हैं, किस तरह से अच्छे हैं, क्या बहुत सहनशीलता है?
No, no,
या
it is
और
not
बहुत
सहनशीलता.
व्यस्त हैं
No.
और कुछ ध्यान नहीं देते हैं,
No, 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 no,
सेल्फ
no.
सेंटर्ड हैं,
No, no, no.
पर इतना ही क्राइम यहाँ भी है, इतना ही
No, no, no,
रेप
no,
का
no,
रेट है,
no,
लेकिन
no, 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 no,
इसको
no, no.
मीडिया में और लोगों के बीच में और किसी तरह से नहीं आने देते हैं, या किसी को किसी की पड़ी नहीं है, या सिंपली थोड़ी देर दुखी हो जाते हैं, उसके बाद अपनी
No,
राह पे
no,
चल
no,
पड़ते हैं।
no, it's not true. It's not true. What you say is not true. What I paid was not an empty compliment to the Mumbaikars. And Mumbai awareness is really high. And a certain amount of anonymity is there, certain amount of apathy is there. But compared to any other city, it is, as I told you, there was a survey conducted where Delhi was considered to be most unsafe. Next one is Bangalore, third one is Hyderabad, and the last one is Mumbai. The number of crimes which are happening, not reporting, there is no question because the police is available. You are all educated. You have got a mobile and you have got access to the chief minister and home minister and things like that. Let us not think about one particular case and then paint the whole town red. You know, I can give you 10 examples of where Mumbai people have not helped a particular girl or a woman. But that is, you know, one odd case. We are talking about 20 million people and so many thousand crimes. By and large, even today, women can travel free in the night in the taxis and the rails and other places is a fact. It is acknowledged by the people. Now, by praising all of you, I'm not getting anywhere. I retired. No, neither I need a promotion nor anything. I retired. So by appreciating the Mumbai people, I'm not getting a governor's job or anything like that. So I have done my role, and by appreciating people just like that, I don't get. But it's a fact that you do feel safe about it. Let us not even ask every Delhi girl who is working here. She doesn't want to go back to Delhi. And
It's not with reference to rapes only.
crime in Mumbai is bound to happen as long as gold value is going up, gold chain snatching will take place. As long as flat value is there, your own children are killing the parents and various others. Crime, there can't be a crimeless society. I don't think anybody is looking forward to a society where there is no crime. Crime of passion, you know, crime of passion. And as long as gold and flats and shares command value, murder and dacoity and robbery, other things are. I am telling you, all of you, last line, beware of cyber crimes. You will be removed all your wealth without your knowledge. Beware of cyber crime. That is a future crime. Thank you very much for listening to me.